Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage, where we bring you the latest and exciting updates of UFC. First, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. McGregor, determined to fight again despite Chandler's doubts. As you know earlier, the date for Conor McGregor's fight against Michael Chandler is yet to be announced. But recently, McGregor has dismissed claims that he won't fight again. Confusion is real, guys. Although he is scheduled to face Chandler on December 16th. At that moment, the fight might be delayed as McGregor's status in the USADA drug testing pool is unclear. Additionally, he is currently under investigation for an alleged sexual assault, which he denies. While some fans speculate that he won't fight again due to a lack of training footage on his social media. However, when asked about his plans, McGregor affirmed that he is looking to get a fight. All UFC fighters must undergo 6 months of mandatory drug testing to be eligible to fight, and McGregor hasn't submitted a test since the third quarter of 2021. The status of his testing pool enrollment remains unanswered by USADA. Certainly, it left the possibility of a year-end fight as the 6-month window opens upon re-enrollment. Here, Chandler asked him about the status of the drug testing pool. No joke. Where the F is that guy? He said, "You have all seen the news that Conor is not in USADA. There are 179 days left until December 16th, which is supposed to be the last pay-per-view of the year. Comically, USADA shows up at my door today to add insult to injury. Where you at, boy?" Initially, Dana White was strict that McGregor would fight this year, but now there's talk about him stepping into the octagon in early 2024 instead. He recently mentioned on Barstool Sports that if McGregor can't meet the UFC 296 deadline, then his next fight will likely be pushed to early 2024. And it seems like others in the MMA world share the same sentiment. UFC commentator Jon Anik has predicted that McGregor's return will be delayed until the beginning of next year. "I'm still pretty bullish that we're going to see him no later than the first quarter of 2024. I still believe competitively Conor McGregor will be back, and hopefully that will allow him to get in an active competition cycle. I believe we'll see Conor back, and hopefully not just one time, but 2 or 3 times in a row." Chimaev's potential next opponent? Allen hints at Cannonier. Once again, Khamzat Chimaev, the rising star, might have a new opponent lined up for his next fight. And it's none other than the number 3 ranked fighter, Cannonier. Man, it's going to be a tough fight. But here's the twist. Brendan Allen, winner of UFC Jacksonville, called out a bunch of fighters after his victory, including Cannonier. Seems like a bold move, right? Well, Cannonier is on fire. His latest performance put him right back in the mix of middleweight contenders, but Allen's manager advised him against calling out Cannonier because it turns out the Killer Gorilla already has his next fight booked. Indeed, gossip behind the scenes. "Cannonier, he's looking for a title eliminator," Allen said during a post-fight interview with Megan O'Leary. "Ali told me not to call him out because he probably fights, but I already had this memorized, so I was like, whatever. I just gotta go with it. I did the 2 things Ali said not to do, so I'm sorry, Ali, but it was already memorized, so I'm sorry." During the UFC Jacksonville post-fight press conference, there were hints and shared laughter regarding Cannonier's next fight. While it's not confirmed, rumors are circulating that Cannonier might face Khamzat Chimaev. When asked about it directly, Brendan Allen avoided giving a definitive answer. "I plead the 5th, he said with a smile. Whereas Khamzat Chimaev, who hasn't fought since September 2021, is expected to make his return in October. Initially, there were talks of him facing Paulo Costa, but with Costa scheduled to fight Ikram Aliskerov in July. Certainly, the plans may have changed. Now, we'll have to wait for the official announcement from the UFC, but there are strong indications about their plans for Chimaev. Let's see what happens next. UFC Fight Night with Emmett versus Topuria. Recently, the UFC delivered an exciting Fight Night card on ABC, and the live audience added to the atmosphere. In this potential showdown, Ilia Topuria showcased his skill as a featherweight contender with a dominant win over Josh Emmett. Whereas, Macy Barber also made a statement. She reminded everyone of her talent in the flyweight division, while Brendan Allen continued to impress. As usual, you know? Now let's address some burning questions. Is Topuria ready for a shot at UFC gold? Could Barber break into the top 5 at flyweight? And is Joshua Van the next rising star? To answer these and more, let's use the classic Silva-Shelby fight booking approach from the UFC's history. In the potential fight, Topuria has proven himself on the verge of greatness with his well-rounded skills. His skills are truly admirable. His recent victory over Emmett showcased his polished striking and grappling. He should be in line for a title shot against the winner of Volkanovski versus Rodriguez. However, matchups against Brian Ortega or Arnold Allen would be thrilling alternatives. Looking at the featherweight division, most fighters ranked above Topuria, excluding Holloway, are coming off losses. It wouldn't make sense to match Topuria against a contender who isn't in a position to challenge at the moment. With no other clear title challengers, Topuria seems like the logical choice for the next title fight after the Volkanovski and Rodriguez matchup. As for Josh Emmett, his recent losses and age raise questions about his contender status. Despite that, there are still exciting matchups for him in the featherweight division. Fights against Giga Chikadze, Bryce Mitchell, or a rematch with Calvin Kattar would all make sense. The controversial nature of their first fight, a rematch between Emmett and Kattar, seems like a top priority. Guys, it's a rematch that deserves to happen. If you're enjoying the video, we'd love your support. Just hit that subscribe button to motivate us to bring you more exciting content. The Rock Johnson steps in to help UFC star with financial issues. You see, Themba Gorimbo's path to the UFC has been a real struggle, especially when it comes to his finances. Who knows whose hand is behind it, whether it's the UFC or just some cosmic twist of fate? While he found himself with just $7 to his name before his first ever UFC bout, but it seems like help is on the way in the form of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At that moment, Rock has come across Gorimbo's financial hardships before his fight with Takashi Sato. In actuality, he was touched by the story. Upon reading Gorimbo's story, The Rock decided to retweet the graphic and offer some words of support. How nice a human being he is. It's not just moral support either. The Rock has agreed to provide financial assistance to him for turning around his fortunes. It's incredible to see how the power of social media and the kindness of others can make a difference in someone's life, right? This is effing crazy to see and brings back many emotions and memories, Johnson's tweet began. $7.49 in this fighter's bank account. I once had $7 too. I've been there on that grind. Got your back, brother. I'll help. You got this. I'll be in touch. After knowing Gorimbo's financial challenges, I've been broken, Rock began. I didn't have money. If you look at my bank account, there's $7 right now. I have to enjoy this. I don't know how much I'm getting paid. All I've focused on for this fight was to get the win. The win was the most important thing. The money is the byproduct of getting the win. Alex Pereira, followed by a staff while shopping in Walmart. Last but not least, Alex Pereira became uncomfortable with Walmart employees during his visit to Walmart for shopping. After that, he shared a video on his social media showing a Walmart employee. He showed how he was following him around the store and leaving him feeling uneasy. Despite the annoyance, Pereira experimented to determine if he was being followed intentionally. The footage speaks for itself. I'm here at Walmart and some guys are following me around, man. Get away from me, man, Pereira said, as translated by Bloody Elbow. Watch this, I'm going to make a turn here. Pereira proceeds to make a turn and shows that the man is still behind him. See? You know, it's really unfortunate that situations like the one Alex Pereira experienced at Walmart still happen. It's hard to say for sure if the employee was following him because of his ethnicity or just because of how he looked. And you know what's even more disheartening? It's often minorities, especially black people, who bear the brunt of this treatment in the universe of MMA. I mean, we should all be supporting each other and celebrating our diversity, right? But unfortunately, there are still some fighters who make derogatory comments or share offensive memes, like Colby Covington calling Black Lives Matter a terrorist movement, and Marcelo Rojo sharing that racist meme about Davison Figueiredo. It's just not cool at all. And let's not forget Tony Kelly's xenophobic rant while cornering Andrea Lee. It's just unacceptable. Later, Kelly responded to his complaint. That's what they're going to do, Kelly said after Lee complained of an eye poke. They're dirty effing Brazilians. They're gonna effing cheat like that. All right, guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.